I saw a new video. I had to post this right now. The media has misled you. The US and South Korea conduct ridiculously large and ridiculously too close live fire drills right next to North Korea. You should see the maps. See my video, Disgraceful Media Fail on Korea Reporting, Distorting North Korea and South Korea, US Bias, Part 2. South Korea was firing for 4 hours thousands of live shells into the waters that North Korea claims as their own, and it's not an unreasonable claim since it's within the 12 nautical mile limit from the North Korean coast. It's not an unreasonable request that North Korea says don't set off live ammunition right in this area. South Korean Marines have fired live artillery into waters that, according to international customary law, belong to North Korea. South Korea, however, claims the waters as its own based on a sea border drawn unilaterally by the U.S. military in 1953. Hardly unprovoked, the North Korean retaliation was triggered by the South Korean violation of North Korean territorial waters. Moreover, the artillery exchange between the two Koreas coincided with the South Korean maneuvers involving 70,000 South Korean troops backed by the U.S. Marines. North Korea saw the exercises as a rehearsal for an invasion, not an unreasonable inference given the number of troops involved in Lee's overt hostility towards North Korea. If South Korea was really interested in peace, you would think it would carry out its military drills in a less sensitive area. They have plenty of islands in the Western Sea for artillery practice. They don't need to be so close to the northern limit line. A line drawn way too close to North Korea's coast. A line imposed unilaterally by a U.S. general. The sea border that has become the main battleground between North and South Korea 57 years after it was imposed by a U.S. general has been called legally indefensible by American officials for more than 3 decades. Then Secretary of State Henry Kissinger wrote in a 1975 classified cable that the unilaterally drawn northern limit line was, quote, clearly contrary to international law. 2 years before, the American ambassador said in another cable that many nations would view South Korea and its U.S. ally as, quote, in the wrong if clashes occurred in the disputed areas along the boundary. And search my channel for others like more drills. South Korea and U.S. are at it again. I can see how the media misled you. The lives of millions are at stake. This is too important to get wrong. Very important information in the video description that the U.S. has a very ugly history with North Korea as far as war crimes.
She said that when he was a young man fleeing with these students, he had been stopped by U.S. forces, and that these U.S. forces had taken my uncle and his friends to be communists fleeing from the north, when in fact they were Christians who were sort of self-purging from the north. And what they did was they lined them up against a ditch and shot them all. And my uncle survived. And it was a story that I had never heard.